Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shoaib Khan and welcome to Maxafter.com. We are back with another informative tutorial. This time this tutorial is not in After Effects, it's in Real Flow. So this is what we will be doing. To see the full smooth video, please visit my blog and you can see this video there. So this is what we will be doing. Are you guys ready? This one will be fun. Let's start the tutorial. Okay, before we start the tutorial, you need to download a few plugins and a demo version if you don't have Real Flow. For the details, please visit my blog, then you can follow the instructions. So let's start by closing this. Here we are in 3D Studio Max. So from here we'll export our details. We want the water to basically interact with these objects here that are created in 3ds Max, so which are, I think, very easy you can create as well. So let's not waste time here in modeling these, so we'll go straight to the point. Okay, once you install your plugins, they should appear here, and make sure that the timeline is 400. You just go to time for configuration and you type 400 here and say OK, and so this is 400 now. The next step is you go to More and you scroll down and you'll find this Scene Data Saver. Usually you don't get this in 3ds Max, but you need to install the plugins in order to get this plugin. You say OK, this panel will open here, and in this panel you just click SD Saver Settings. So in it you select all the 3 objects, these ones, by selecting here. Then you click Set. So you know that start time is 0, end time is 400, and we say Save Sequence. And you need to give it a path, so wherever it is, you just give it a name like Cup, New, anything. Remember the location where you saved it, so it's Save. You'll see it, Okay, now that we have saved it, now let's close Max for a while, and let's go to Real Flow. Here we are in Real Flow. This is how it looks. And let's first import our scene. But before importing our scene, of course, we need to save a new scene. For that, we go to File. Usually when you open Real Flow, it asks you to save the new file because it opens a folder, it saves a folder, and in that folder there are many other subfolders. So for that you need to just File, New Project, and then you type your name here, and then you need to give a path, wherever you want to save it. Let's say Real Flow, and then you say Create New Project. So what it does is it will save a file with the folders. So once you save your folder, this is how it looks basically. This is what we saved, tutorials. So it saves with all these folders in here. Right. So let's start the next thing, which is import our 3D objects that we created in Max. So let's work with the perspective view. Right click in here, and we come here, we say single view, and we import our 3D objects. File, import object. So then we locate the 3D file that we exported from 3ds Max. So we click on it and we say open. And now with your middle mouse button you can scroll it down. You'll see that it's too big now. So what you need to do is you need to scale it down. You can move it with your Alt on your keyboard and middle mouse. You can move it, and Alt and your left click, with your left click you can rotate it, and stay with Alt, pressing Alt, then with your right click you can zoom in and out. Okay, now let's go to scale, and we'll change this to 0.015. So here we are, and so it's a reasonable size now. So the next step, what we do is we'll introduce our emitter, which is circle. We come here and just add a new emitter, and then we click circle, and the circle is here now, and we select the move tool, this one, and we bring it up. Also you can use this tool and you come to node here, and then you can change the position here as well. For example 3.46, and I want to rotate it. For rotation you use this one, and you can rotate it, but you can rotate it from here as well. So I'll choose -8.02, The next step is you want to see the simulation. I know you can't wait, so what you need to do is press simulate button and you'll see the simulation happening already. Well, it's a bit time consuming, so we stop it here and you click this, and this is in real time now, since we didn't simulate all, so we stopped in the middle. So we just reset it now for now and fix a few things here. Now, as you can see, the circle emitter is a bit too big for our objects here, so we need to turn down the size. Make sure that when your circle is selected, then it will highlight all the panels here. You can select the rest of the objects from here. So now it's circle selected, so we come down to scale and we need to change the scale here 0.3 and 0.3 and 0.3. Right, so it's now small, it looks like a hose now. What we can do is now if you simulate it, you'll see it's good enough. So let's reset it again. Now a few more things you need to introduce. The next thing that we'll introduce is demons, very important. Go to gravity. We'll leave the gravity down there for now. And the next thing is add mesh. Right. You click add mesh. What it does basically with add mesh, it gives you the mesh, shows you the liquid form itself. You can right click the mesh, either right click it and say build. So it's build, yes. Let's simulate again. Now you can see that you see our mesh now. So what you need to do is if you go back to circle and reset it, and then you right click the viewport and go to shading and smooth. And now when you simulate, you'll see it happening. So it already looks so cool, and I think this software is just amazing, If you try to do this kind of stuff with some other software, it takes ages, to get this kind of effect. So we just introduced a circle and objects, and you see it's already happening. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Right. So let's reset it again. Make sure you reset it all the time. Okay, let's play around with the settings here. So first we'll go to very easy, this panel here. You see our object 1, 3, and then we come to circle, which is our emitter, and then the demon, which is gravity, and then this mesh. So let's start with the circle here. So the first thing, let's move this up so that we see it clearly. Okay, node is fine. We have already played around with node. So let's close this. Initial state. I love initial state because there's nothing in here. So let's turn it off. And then we come down to particles, which is important. Particles, is, of course, the type is liquid. And then you can change it to gas, dumb, elastics, and custom. But we need it liquid. So I just want to tell you one thing here is please don't follow me what I do. Stop the video in the middle, and now, like I said, I don't have time to go through all this. You need to stop the video and go and check this individually. Click gas and simulate. How it looks with the gas. Can you see the difference? So then again, you come down here, and then you do it with dumb, and then you do elastics. Try to explore these things. If you just follow me, then you can't explore. The best way of learning is you always explore, you always research. Try to find out what these things, how they, when you change them, how they actually change the whole video. What is their part in the scene here? So it's very important. So I'll go through the main points, but you need to stop the video and go through each point, change them and see how it looks. For example, now we go to resolution. We'll keep the resolution 1 for now, because if you turn it up, then it takes long time. Again, I'll give you an example. If you see 50 and then you simulate, you see quality becomes better, but it takes long time. So for the final render, you can turn it up. So reset it. Again, we'll keep it 1 for now. Right, the density of the water that we know is 1000. Yeah, so we'll keep it 1000. Okay, the next thing is we come to internal pressure, which is also very important. Internal pressure is basically the value that affects the force generated between the nearby particles. So we will change this to 0.01. And The external pressure is the overall force, that affects all the particles of the fluid. So we'll change this to 0.01 as well. Okay, the next thing is we'll come to viscosity. Right, the viscosity is basically the drag force. The fluids like water have the low viscosity of 1 to 5, and higher value is for oil, honey, etc. So since we are not in the mood of drinking oil and honey, so we'll keep it to water, which is viscosity 1 to 5, and I think 3 is fine. And like if you render it, now if you play it, you can see it's a bit fast, this thing. Now if you drag it, like let's say 20, and you reset it and you simulate it, you can see that now this thing is a bit slow, because oil and honey, they are different. So but for now we keep this to 3, viscosity. Okay, surface tension, we'll leave it as it is. And max particles, right, this is also very important, because of course you need more particles. Right now it's 50,000, so we'll change this to $100,000. 100,000 is good, but you can increase it, up to 350,000. The more the better. So, but again, computing time, simulating time, it takes more time. Okay, we come down, we close these panels here, we come down to circle, open circle, and again, the speed, of course, another important thing. The speed is, of course, it calculates the speed of the particles, how fast they are being emitted. So the speed is, we'll change this to 2.5. Okay, we come down to then V random and H random. V random means vertical random. It adds a vertical random variation to the particle speed vector, and same is the horizontal random. So let's change these values to 0.2 and again 0.2. And if you render, then you'll see that you see these curves, it's getting better and better. But if you turn this to 0, it'll be, a bit flat. So that's why, it gives motion here, random and horizontal motion. So which is why it looks cool. Okay, these are the other values that you need to explore. Side emission is also cool stuff. Let me just turn it on for now, and you'll see. See? That's another cool effect. But for now, we turn it off. So that's what I'm saying. It's very important to stop the video and go through these points individually. Change this to 10, change this to some different values, and see the results. Okay, the next thing is we will go to the gravity. Okay, the gravity, I love gravity because there's nothing in here much to do. So we just turn it off here, and as we all know that the strength is 9.8, so we leave it as it is. And now the next thing is we come to mesh. Okay, in mesh we come to the first part, which is mesh build. Yes, we know that it is. Yes, we have done it. And the type is metaballs, and then there are some other options here that you can also explore. And the polygon size. Okay, the polygon size, we'll leave this to 0.06, but if you increase it to, let's say, 0.01, you'll see the difference here. So it becomes fuller, so you can play around with this value, but for now we'll leave it to 0.6. Just reset this again. And then we come down to texture, and we close this one here. This texture, there's nothing much in here, so we close it. Filters. So for filters, we'll turn on the filter method, which is yes, because then we get relaxation and tension and steps, which enhances again, the flow of the liquid. So we just leave the values as it is, and we go to clipping. Clipping is, we'll just leave it as it is. Optimize, again optimization, just leave it. Do your research and see what they do. And next thing is display. And display color right now is, you can change the color here to watercolor, and you'll see, if you go to circle, you see the change in the color. So this was mesh, and we now just reset it again. If you click this plus button here, and it'll show you the circle. Now we go to the circle, click here, And then we again get the circle, panel here for the circle. So in the field, we'll change the 95 blend factor to 80. Now if you change the blend factor to, let's say, 100, you'll see the difference. It becomes bigger and thicker. So if you change 200, let's see what happens. Put some crazy value in it and find out the difference quickly. See? But for now, we'll just put 80 and reset it. I must say, this is an amazing package. You can do so many things with it. Okay, and we come to the radius, and we change the radius to 0.03. And the next step is noise. Leave the noise as it is. And deformation. Do you need speed stretching? Yes, we do. So it's also another thing that enhances the quality of the flow. Okay, now most of the stuff is done here. Okay, let's reset it again and simulate it and see how it looks. Well, it looks like we have messed up something here. So let's come to the field as what was it, 0.04. So let's reset it and see how it looks. Yeah, so we messed up the radius of our fluid here, so make sure it's 0.04. So reset it, and then again just render it. So you can have more particles, falling here, and so that you won't see this break here. So you can increase the particles and also the resolution to get the best results. Again, I must say, the best thing is you need to research and explore to get the best results. Alright, so it'll keep on rendering. It'll simulate, and we can stop it here, and we can see how it looks. Just click circle. Okay, we just play. As you can see, we have done the simulation. If the speed is too fast, then you go back to circle, and then the speed can be reduced as well. And then we can also come back and increase a bit of resolution here. And also, this is like 100,000. Yes, that's fine. 0.01, 0.013 thousand. You can, if the speed is too fast, then you can change the speed here as well, and then you can re-render and see how it looks. Okay, so let's reset it. And again, one more thing I just want to mention here is you need to click these objects here, for example, and then you also get the panel for each object here. If you go to particle interaction, you'll see the collision distance here is 0.006. So sometimes what happens is when you simulate and there's a lot of particles, the particles go through the object because the collision distance is very less. So what we can do is we can turn down the collision distance to 0.03 so that it doesn't go through the objects. So we need to change that for all of it. And so we go here again, we change it to 0.03, and again we go to 0.03. If you go back to the circle and change the speed again back to 2.5, reset this again, and now if you render, you can see that it's keeping its distance. So you reset it and say yes. So what you can do here is you can increase the resolution here. Let's say if you increase it to 10, you'll see you'll have more particles interacting. So this, since it's an experimenting stuff, so what you can do is just try to do it with, like, if you have a powerful computer, then why not go for it. And for now we'll just go to 1 and we'll do it with this. So what you need to do is then we'll export it. We go to export central, make sure that the mesh is checked on, and do a bit of research about this panel as well. So since we need a mesh here, and we'll click this and we say done, and then we just simulate it and we'll do the simulation. Okay, let it simulate, and now right now it's saving. You can see the saving here in tutorials mesh 5455.bin. So it's saving. Let it save till 400, or you can stop it in the middle in 200 and see and go to 3D Studio Max and see how it looks. Right, I'm going to stop this here, and we'll go back to 3ds Studio Max, and I will use the previous file that I've rendered. What I'm going to do is come here to Standard Primitive, and then we can select the next limit. Again, it's the plugin that you need to install. So now you come to RF loaders, and you select the sequence. So since I've done it already, so you go to meshes, then select this. Right, and then you click create mesh. And then when you render, this is how it looks. Cool, isn't it? When you import it, sometimes this thing is a bit offset here and there. So when it says offset, what you need to do is just right click over here, and you just change this to 0 and automatically adjust it. It's very important that you just adjust exactly where it is so that your interaction with your objects. I'll go through the shader very quickly, and so that you can have an idea what kind of shader I applied. I applied the shader, which is anisotropic, and I applied a normal reflection, which is ray tracing, and also a normal refraction, which is again retracing. That's it. That's why I applied. And to the cups here, I've just applied different materials. So it's nothing big. I mean, this is, of course, it can be more realistic if you do it with mental ray. And for that, you need to do my mental ray tutorial and get the best results. So I'll show you the one that I did. So this is the one I previously worked with. I've applied the same shaders. So if I render this, you'll see how it looks. Looks cool. Bit of lighting there as well. You can apply the lighting as well. There's just one light here and one light on the camera. So this is how you can create a great looking water dropping and interacting with the objects. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and it's been informative for you as well, and for me too as well, since we have learned a lot today. So after this, once it's done, then of course you can render it and then take it to After Effects and apply different color corrections to it, and you can change the watercolors to blue, yellow, green, whatever, and look, that gives you cool results as well. So you can do the post work in After Effects. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, my name is Shoaib Khan from Maxafter.com, and also if you have time, don't forget to click on the products button and see what's in there. It's a whole new world in there. But anyways, my name is Shoaib Khan, and from Maxafter.com. Thank you very much for visiting us. Assalamu alaikum.